Hello friends, Namaskar, Jai Shri Krishna to all of you. I completely understand that many of you find it very difficult to make Angular forms. Okay, so let's get started. This is one of the Angular forms that I have just created. Here, if I enter any value and I enter any value in the another field also, and then when I submit the form, I get these values in the backend. Okay, so the whole purpose of any form is to get the user input and use it in the backend. Okay, so let us see step by step what we can do to achieve this kind of a form. So you go to your code. First thing that you have to do is go to your module file and import form module and reactive form module. Where is it coming from? It is coming from Angular forms. Okay, this is your step number 1, and you don't have to remember anything. I'll tell you what to do. Use the IntelliSense of your IDE. Okay, so it will be like this. Go to imports and just write here form module. Okay, forms module, and here reactive forms. I'm not doing anything. See, I've only typed half of the name, and the IntelliSense will tell me what name it is, and I'll just click on it or I'll just enter while it is selected. Okay, so as soon as I do that, it will automatically import it from whichever library it should come from. So I don't have to remember the whole thing. I just have to remember these two names, form modules and reactive form modules. Okay, and always import them into imports. Do not import modules into providers. Many people get confused here. See, imports is for modules, and providers, like over here there is something called as providers. Okay, so providers is for services. Do not import modules into providers. Import modules only in imports. Okay, I am deleting this. This is your step number 1. Just import these two modules into imports. Then this you have to do this in module file, means in whichever class is attributed with ng module, there you have to do this. Then come to your component class. Component class means any class which is attributed by component attribute. Okay, which is decorated with component attribute. Okay, so here what you have to do, again you have to import two things. One is form group, another is form control. Okay, again these two are also coming from Angular forms. Okay, now what will you do? You will come to the constructor. Here you will create an object of form group. I have already created such a member, a data member in this class already. Okay, and it is of the type form group. I am just creating an object of form group and assigning it to that particular variable. Okay, but while I do that, I require to create an object like this, and that object will be objects of form controls. Now I'll explain you what it is. Form group means it is a class which holds the data of your form. Like here my form is having father and name. Okay, these two are my fields. Fields are called as fields are called as controls. In Angular, fields are called as controls. Okay, and the form data is called as form group. Okay, so form group has the data of all the controls. So that is why I am creating two controls over here. Okay, father and name. Okay, now how will I map this onto the template? So in the template, that means in the HTML file, what I'll do is, whichever file you mention over here in template URL, that file, in this file what you have to do is you create a form, and in every input that you put, you just create form control name over here, and then this is the name father. Okay, that is why we have given father over here. Okay, so father is one control, name is another control. Okay, so I have created form control name father, form control name. Okay, this is what I have done. Then enclose the whole thing into a form. Write here form group equal to whichever is the object of your form group. Here it is my form data, so that is why I'm writing here form data. Okay, and then on submit event of the form, you should be calling some method. Okay, and when will this submit event get called? When you click on any button which is having type equal to submit. Okay, so just create any button within this form. Within this form, create any button with type equal to submit. When you click on that button, then it will be the submit event of the form. On that submit event, this method is going to get called. Okay, and this expand block only means that this button is from this end till that end. Okay, so that is why I have written expand equal to block. Okay, otherwise it doesn't have any meaning. Okay, so don't worry about this. Even if I remove it, I'll just show it to you for example. If I remove it, the button looks like this. It looks kinda ugly, and that's why I wanted expand equal to block. Okay, so just remember the button should have type equal to submit. That's all. Now let us come to this method. On submit, which method should get called? This method will get called. In this method, what am I doing? I am just consoling out the form data. So form data dot value, it will get consoled out like this. Let me add something here and let me submit the form. See, this is how it gets consoled out. Okay, so these are step-by-step ways of creating a form in Angular application. Now I completely understand that many of you are still not fully convinced that how will it work. You might have tried a couple of these steps, but it still doesn't work in your case. Okay, so you can rewind the video from the past if you want. Otherwise, I will create a new application right in front of you and I'll create a form inside it. Okay, step by step I'll do it in front of you once again. So let's close this application. Okay, I have created one more fresh application. This is my dummy form application. This is only for form. Okay, and let me just run this once. So this is an Ionic application. The way to create it is Ionic start. You just click this and then the CLI will tell you all the various, will ask you a lot of questions, and then this application got formed. So I have already created this. Now I'll do Ionic serve. So this will build this application and it will host it within a small web server which is there in Visual Studio Code IDE itself, and it will show it to me. Okay, so it has hosted it on localhost 8101 port, and this is how it is. This is a default blank application that you'll get. Now let us create a form over here. So I will just go over here. I'll keep it running so that as soon as I change anything, the changes will get reflected here. Okay, now if you really are lost, if you don't know anything about Angular, then please go through this particular playlist. I've explained to you in great amount of detail how to create Ionic applications. Okay, Ionic applications are nothing but Ionic is just a a cover over your Angular applications. So don't worry about Ionic or Angular. It is basically what I'm talking about is an Angular application which is having a wrapper of Ionic. So don't worry. If you're just an Angular developer, then don't worry. All this holds good even in your case. Okay. Now, here let us go to this particular home page and the HTML. Here, see, ready to create an app. This is what I'm seeing over here. Okay. Now I want a form over here. So what I'm going to, I'm just going to remove all this. Okay. And my form will come here. My form will come here. Okay, see, my form will come here. Okay, now let us create that form. Creating the form is pretty simple. I just created a form like this. Okay, inside this form, what I'm going to write is, let us say I'll just create two labels. Let us say what is your name and what is your phone number. Okay, and then there will be a button. Any kind of a button will do, but since we are working in Ionic, I'll just create Ionic button. Okay, and I'll just say submit. Okay, this button should be of type submit. Okay, now let us see this much. How is it looking? Okay, it is looking like this. It is looking pretty ugly. So I want to make it a little better. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to write here IN label Okay, in IN label I'll say name. Okay, and similarly in another IN label I'm going to say phone number. Okay, and below these labels I'm going to write IN input. Okay, here also below this phone number I'm going to write IN input. Now let us see how it looks. Yeah, it is looking like this, and of course I can enter something like this. Okay, it is pretty simple. If you want it in the same line, then keep them in the same line like this. Okay, Acha, I'm not sure. Yeah, it is not coming like that. I'll tell you how to do that. How will you make them come in the same line? So for that you need something called as IN item. Okay, you create IN item and you put both these things into that IN item. Okay, same thing over here. Here also IN item. Okay, you put both these things into IN item. Now it looks just like the form that I showed you in the last time. So this is just like that. Okay, so this is how you have to do it. An even better and more academic way of doing it is first creating an IN list, and inside that list you create these two IN items. Okay, so this is done. So it is looking pretty much like I showed you in the first example. Okay, it is looking nice. Okay, a little bit cleanup work. Yeah, so it is good enough now. Now what I'll do is on the submit button nothing is happening, right? Because on submit I haven't written anything over here. So I'll write ng submit equal to on submit, whichever is my method. Okay, and in this method let me first write this method. Okay, I'm writing this method here, and let us say console.log form is submitted. I'm just writing that the form is submitted, but actually I'm not doing anything over there. So if I write something here, and I submit, form is submitted, but it doesn't do anything, right? I want this information, whatever name I have entered and whatever phone number I have entered, I need it in this method. So how do I do that? For that, as I told you, first of all I'll go to module. Here forms module is already there, but reactive forms module is not there, so I'm importing it. Then I'm coming to the component again, and here in the constructor I'm going to write, even before the constructor I'm going to make an object of form group. So I'm going to say form data of type form group. Okay, it will automatically import it from here. Then here I'll write form data is equal to new form group. Okay, and as I told you, for creating this I require some object. Okay, and what kind of an object it is? It is like, it is name, right? So name should be a new form control. Okay, and likewise the other thing is phone number. Okay, phone number new form control. Okay, this got completed. Now this form data I am going to put in the HTML over here. I am going to write it like form group is form data. Okay, and now in this particular file I should be able to get that thing. So I'll just console out. I should be able to get this form data dot value. Okay, let us see whether it works. So my name is Amit, and my phone number is, of course, +91. I live in Pune, India. Oh, it is still not coming. So this often happens. Even in my case, it has just happened. So why is this happening? Let us come. Here I have imported everything. Here this is also correct. I probably didn't save it here. Let me check. It's really a problem. Okay. Here I have created group. Oh yeah, I did not write. I did not write here. Form, control, name. Oh yeah, here this is not required. Okay, this is equal to whatever it is, like name, and here form control name is equal to phone number. Okay, now let us see whether it works. I'm writing a name, I'm writing a phone number, and ta-da, when I click on submit, I get it on the back end. Now what you do with this data, it's entirely up to you. Mostly you will give it to a certain service, which is service within your Angular application, which in turn will be calling a web service, some Java or .NET service. Okay, it will be calling it with this data. So what you do with this data, it's none of my concerns, but this is what the video was about, that how will you get the user input onto your component class. This is the component class. So you got that data in the component class. Okay, I hope you like this video. If you like these videos, then go for all the other videos in the Angular or in the Ionic space, or I have created many more videos about hybrid mobile application development and all. Do share these videos with those people who need such videos. I try to make very precise videos, and if you follow them step by step, there is no chance that it won't work on your machine. Okay, so I give every step in great amount of detail. If you like my effort, please do like, share, subscribe. Until next time, this is Amit signing off. Jai Shri Ram.